Holy shit, it's windy as fuck. Can't even stand up. Holy shit.
Okay, we're back on the boat, and obviously it's nighttime now. From the beginning clip, I'm gonna put the clip of me going in the beginning. Now I'm actually gonna try to put some editing into this. I'm gonna put some effort into this thing. I will just post it up raw. And unfortunately, I know it's late, a couple of days late. The night I planned to record, just post this video. I hand out a couple of friends who. Oh, sorry, I just took a spray. They did me kind of dirty. And I haven't been treated like that. I don't think ever, especially in public, you know. And I wasn't expecting that from them, you know. Like, these guys are like they're my good friends. As I thought they were, you know. But that's not the talk for today. In fact, that's the next topic that we'll do. Choosing your close circle wisely. That wolf in sheep's clothing stuff all makes so much sense now, dog. You have no idea. And I can see land, so I need to make this video quick. For reference, just let me acknowledge that I understand that everybody has a different family dynamic than mine. They're not all gonna be the same. They're not all gonna like, hello. Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. So I understand that like some people are gonna have a different some people are gonna have a different experience than mine with their parents, with their family. Some people are gonna have some people have had parents that have just had simply unforgivable things done to them. And I've spoken to my peers, I've spoken to my colleagues, I've spoken to my friends, and I've heard some things from people, like it's pretty shocking. But, and I'm gonna make this video saying that this video is not for everyone. I understand that some things are unforgivable, and this disclaimer, let me just put it like that. But I hope you can hear me because this boat's pretty loud too. Before we start, let me go ahead and say, you should call your parents. They're starting to get pretty old. And they're not going to be around forever. And I recently met a man who kind of reminded me of that. You know, when you look at this guy, you know, you think he's living the best life. You know, he has a nice truck. He had this Tacoma, and the best I could describe it was, if you know a V6 truck guy trying to look like a V8 guy. It's the best way I could give it to it. You know, it was such a nice looking truck. It looked beefy as hell, you know, but it had a V6, unfortunately. But I heard the Tacomas are good, but it's besides the point. And he had a nice house too, like a beautiful, one of the most beautiful houses I've ever been in. And like I was decking at some point during the summer, and I had seen that this guy, like, you know, one day he was actually home, and I asked him, hey, could I use the bathroom? He was a fairly older guy, old enough, like older than my dad, I'd say that. Like, let me pinpoint, I didn't ask him. But when I spoke to him, it was always, he was always very quiet, very, very humble. So I asked him, like, could I use the bathroom? And he let me. And there was just pictures everywhere, all over on the walls. And I'd asked him, who is this guy? He had told me that it was his dad. And the waterworks began. I've genuinely seen someone break all the fingers in their hand, and man, they held more composure than this guy because Jesus, man. I've never seen a man weep like that, you know? And he gave me a really interesting perspective that I never really thought about before, that I never really looked at, and that was that he inherited his house from his father. You know, that's just the same house that he grew up in. And then the house stopped being a home. It stopped being a place of comfort for him. It became a place of torture and suffering more than anything, because It was a constant reminder that his father was just gone. And he'd never be able to see him again. And I couldn't imagine not being able, like not wanting to come home because I'm afraid that, because I'm afraid of the memories, you know, like, he lost his mom really early in his life, he was telling me, and so his situation kind of just like mine, you know, like he was more close, he was much more closer with his dad, and like, I've never seen someone cry like that. The pain in his voice, the pain in his eyes, you know, I've seen people fold their arms and they held more composure, like, I had the experience of losing my father, who he was fairly distant to me as well, and I'll talk about how it feels to lose your father, because my perspective is different, of course, you know, but that's another video for another day. I'll put that down, you know. I'll put that down as a video topic for another day. But this guy constantly just kept reminding me that my parents were getting old and they were getting older, and I didn't even listen to him. Until my mom, she called me and told me she was having complications, you know, and she had to have a uterus removed. And, you know, she told me it wasn't such a big deal, you know, she basically dumbed it down so I wouldn't worry, but I'm starting to worry because I'm getting that stage in my life where as much as I'm the healthiest that I've ever been, I'm the strongest that I've ever been, and I'm gonna keep getting healthy and strong, you know, like my life is just starting. I'm kind of getting to the point where like hers is going to come to an end because she's getting older, and you know, seeing this guy go through what he went through, seeing him cry like that and just seeing how he's afraid to go home, he has nowhere else to go because that's a safe place, but he also brings him torture. I don't know how to comfort someone like that. I wouldn't know how to comfort myself when I'm going through something like that. I just wouldn't know what to do. I'd be confused. I'd be lost. I'd be scared. You know, I'd be afraid. Because my mom is all that I know. She's always been there for me. And when people say it's corny, my mom is my best friend. I don't care how you feel about that. She's always been there for me. She's always been cared for me. She's my ride or die. My mom is my ride or die, and I couldn't imagine what life would be like without her. That's something that struggles to compute a little bit. What would I do without her? Like, she's the person I call. I look forward to calling her every day when I wake up. I look forward to calling her in the evening. Well, what would I do without my mother? That's a question I ask myself every single day. What would I do without my mother? And even thinking about preparing for that day, you know, the more I think about it, it makes me feel worse about it. But the more I ignore it, it makes me feel worse about it. Like, I have half siblings who I'd say were also closer to our father than anything else, and they're going through it right now. And I'm trying to be there for them as best as I can, you know, but we don't really know each other, you know. I'm also pretty silent myself. I don't really talk too much. You know, that's why I'm also trying to do this, get more comfortable when it comes to talking. But I mean, the best way I can tell you how I'm feeling right now is my mom stuck by me through everything. I know she'll go eventually. Just that the anxious part comes and I'm unsure when it's gonna be, and I haven't seen her smile enough time, you know? Every time I hear this topic from someone else, you know, it's always call him, you know, you miss him, but it always slips my mind. But now that I'm sitting here talking, thinking about it, like I want to make that promise to myself and to my mom. I'm going to call my mom more. I'm stating it now, and I'm putting it on the internet for everybody to see. You know, I'm going to call my mom more. You should too. This is a reminder. Call your mom more. Call your dad more. They miss you. You know, I acknowledge in the beginning that some people have parents that have done unforgivable things, and I understand that. I acknowledge that fully, you know. But even me, sometimes, even like throughout my day-to-day life, I try to remind myself that as much as my mom does things that make me angry, and she does things that upset me, as much as she does things that I don't agree with, you know, and we fought before, we fought multiple times, and I need to understand that it's her first time living life too, you know. Same way I make mistakes too. I piss people off too. I make people mad too. You know, I'm not a saint. So I'm not gonna try to act like one, you know. Or I am gonna try to act like one, and I'm gonna forgive her and try to put my differences aside, because life is short, people. Life is short. And the older I get, the more I understand that, you know, we're so used to like the everyday when everyone's here. You know, your whole life you've always woken up and you've always found people there, you know. It isn't until they're gone that you realize that, fuck, they're gone. Because every day we wake up expecting them to just be there tomorrow, but they might not always be there tomorrow. You know? And I'm starting to realize that. I'm starting to be more open and honest about that. I need to call my mom more. You know, you need to call your mom or dad more if this video was for you. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. At least, I'm glad you like stuck around to like listen to me talk and stuff. You know? That also helps. Being a good like, actually no, I'm not gonna start asking for likes. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna start ending these. I need to figure something out.